only. But that flow was stopped. So has there been a sense of, have you accepted loss better? Have you accepted yourself as more mortal or more, यार होगा ये सब तो मेरे साथ भी कभी ना कभी होगा यार. Has there been any line of thought on those lines ever?
See, that it can happen to me too. And therefore, I should be prepared that it can happen to me too is a thought that I've lived with for a long time. So it's not some, oh, it can't happen to me because it doesn't happen to people like me. No, it happens to people like me. So that, yes. But having said that, it is still, I would say, for myself, a little bit of an abstraction. It's not like I have really thought to myself, what would it feel like if I was suddenly diagnosed with some terrible illness tomorrow? So I don't dwell on such kind of thoughts, partly because I don't want to wish it upon myself. I feel the more you dwell on things like that, it is in a way directly
You attract
wishing
them.
things for yourself. So I don't want to wish those things upon myself. So I don't dwell on it. So with all of these things, I still don't know. Can't predict how I myself might respond and react if something, another thing might happens to me. I don't know. But I do know that because of all of these things, I don't ask these kind of questions about why me, or I don't believe that I'm in some way,
Wonderful.
Special or a golden person to whom bad things don't happen, etc., etc. I just look at it the way I have kind of narrativized it or made a thing out of it for myself is I think different people in life are put through different types of trials and tribulations. Somehow it is certain things are earmarked for certain people. Like I have some friends who have terrible health issues, like they go through acute pain, and so it's not cancer or anything, but there is some, so they have to live with a lot of physical health issues on a day-to-day basis, and that is the cross that they have to bear, or the tribulation that they have to bear. That's good. So far I've been blessed with good health, so that's not a tribulation that I have had to bear. But on the other hand, I have had to deal with this, which is not something that they have seen or dealt with at close quarters, in their life, uh, etc., etc. So I think different people and some others have been put to be, their thing has been that they have to care very closely for somebody very close to them who have been ill or, incapacitated in some way. So that heavy responsibility has fallen upon them. So I just think that different people in life are called upon or have, different kinds of tribulations to experience, and that is part of their sort of journey of enlightenment, of wisdom, in coming to terms with their tribulation, so to say, and not buckling under it and not sort of moving into huge zones of why me self-pity, but still, that life force and spirit that you have still comes out of it, right?
Okay, there's a nice
So you're still
question.
able to view life in a positive way. You're still able to appreciate the happier, positive sides of life
Yeah.
that are there around you. Whether they are simple beauty, simple joys, to kind acts that people are capable of, to blessings that you have in your life.
True.
So you need to be in that positive frame to be able to see and appreciate that positive side of life too. So you're not crushed, weighed down and crushed by all these, sad, bad, negative experiences.
One interesting question which I can only ask you because this is very properly set up for this. You spoke about getting a philosophy or finding some meaning or purpose. Purpose is not a word that you use. Purpose is actually far more physical in my head as of right now, but say meaning in life
Yeah.
or philosophy in life.
Mm.
So, my question to you is But when you talk about it in detail, when you're talking about your experience and when you're talking about your thought process, you have internalized a lot of it and made it your own. Because the one thing that a lot of, I have a huge problem with having ready-made answers for problems that all of us are facing is that everybody should do this, we all should do this, we all, even if you are going through a problem, I seem to have an easy solution to it without realizing the day to do day what it demands of you. A lot of people do not seem to understand that jump between philosophy and real life is sometimes also has to be taken, and you have to really study it, live it, or understand it at a level where it starts making a difference to your life.
Hmm.
I'll give you a simpler example. A lot of us start crying and praying to God when we get stuck. So we all
Hmm.
rush and we say, "Okay, every Monday I come and pour milk on the shivling, so now Shiva needs to do my work." Which
Hmm.
is a very basic thing, and I do not laugh at it anymore because I think the pain of the person does not go away. Their outlook might be wrong, the way they deal with it might not be perfect yet, but their pain is very real, their pain is very true. One shouldn't laugh at them, and if at all they are open to ideas. Now, this openness is what my struggle is most times with myself, with other people as well. We are so easily convinced by something which comes from an authority in that sense. Okay, some God said this, or some Buddha has lived this, and this has happened. So these are nice things to know. But at the point of time, even if I have a simple headache, you give me the gyan, see, you are supposed to live with it. This is life, and it's okay. You've taken a saridon, it will take some time, and whatever. Or you've not taken a saridon, depends upon. So at that point of time, I don't want gyan.
Hmm.
I find myself very short tempered with philosophy and gyan at that point of time.
True.
So my question to you is, since you have been, you've spoken of both things, to find a philosophy that relates to you in a manner that you find that you want to go deeper. Now, this going deeper, do you have a process? Do you internalize something? Have you come to a point where it helps you deal with life better? What is it that you really do? I mean, practically. So a lot of people were into chanting. There was this phase that a lot of my friends were into this some kind of Buddhist chanting, and it
Yeah,
helped.
Nichiren Buddhism.
Huh. So a
Soka
lot,
Gakkai.
yeah,
SGI.
yeah, SGI. So a lot of them were there. They have benefited. Very few of them have stuck on with it. Some of them have moved on. But my question to you is, what is it that one has to do in your case if you had to personalize this? You picked up the philosophy, but there are enough number of people who know much more about Buddhism than you and I know, but they seem to be incapable with dealing with real life. And at the same time, somebody lesser than us in terms of knowledge of any kind of thing, but they take it as it comes. And you are like, "Hey, this guy is so wise and he doesn't know any of these tenets or philosophies or not even stories sometimes. They are just life hai, to jaisa hai. Like the line in our religion is Tera bhana meetha lage. So whatever makes you happy makes me happy, kind of thought
Hmm.
towards God. So very few people that I've seen, but there are people. They are not very knowledgeable in terms of giving huge philosophy, but they are living their truth and they are really admirable. So, is there something that you did from the point of learning about it to bringing it in your real life scenario? Or did something happen on its own where you realized, okay, I started to find more depth in uh, in what I was already doing?
Hmm. I think because I've always been a reader and fond and quite oriented towards reflection, so you do kind of read and you try to apply what is said in your own context and your own life and circumstances that you see around you. So as we tend to do, I actually started with a lot of reading on psychology and trying to understand through psychology, etc. But then slowly I gravitated more and more towards Buddhism because I found its teachings appealed hugely to me, and I found its logic very appealing. But I attended a 10-day introduction to Buddhism program at Tushita in Dharamshala.
Okay.
Then I read different bits and pieces and different kinds of teachings. I used to, and don't meditate as seriously anymore, that I kind of go through phases of more intense and better practice, and then I don't do it, and then I come back. I don't have that much discipline, I think. But I think the main thing for me has been, it's not just reading. You have to reflect deeply upon the reading and in your own life context. So, for